Alright guys, in this video you are going to learn the number one frustration and challenge wholesalers are going through right now. What's up guys? Alright, so this video is all about an experience I just had this weekend, and I'm recording this video the same weekend because I'm going to actually relate this experience to the biggest challenge and hurdle wholesalers are having right now. If any of you drive for work and you are out there getting deals, then traffic is something you come across every single day. Now, as I'm shooting this video, it may be a little bit less during this COVID situation, but in general, there is still traffic, and it is actually my pet peeve. So fun fact there. Biggest pet peeve I have is traffic. Hate sitting around, doing nothing, getting nothing accomplished. Really, really frustrating. So this weekend, they seem to have wanted to shut down a good stretch of the 101 highway here in Arizona, and they did it on a Saturday. So all weekend long, they did this multiple mile stretch that they've completely shut down the 101 going north in Arizona. And so they had to have me detour, and then once I detoured, I thought, oh well, I know the better routes than Google does, and I'm just gonna make my own way. Now, while I did get there and I did know my own way, ultimately I ended up spending roughly 40 more minutes in the car driving because I took it on my own wisdom or experience to drive whatever route I thought was going to be the fastest. Now, thank you for listening to that story, but the reality is there's a great hidden point to that story. I actually caused myself more time in the car choosing the route that I thought was going to be best rather than the route that Google Maps was telling me to go on. So I got irritated, my temper and patience got very short, had a very short fuse on it, and I just said, screw it, I'm gonna do it my way. I will be better doing it my way. Now, as we all know how that's gonna end up, ultimately I spent too much time. Wholesalers have the same problem these days. They are actually getting frustrated because they're trying different marketing strategies and they're not experiencing the results that they want right now. Now, if that sounds like you should probably be nodding your head, because I would argue almost every wholesaler is having that challenge right now. And what is coming down to is people are now inventing or creating new marketing strategies or jumping to a different marketing strategy, leaving what is proven to work because quite simply they're getting frustrated. So the number one challenge that we are seeing right now is almost self-imposed. Now, I say almost because yes, there are challenging things happening within marketing and lower callbacks and lower connection rates and etc. But it's self-imposed because it's the wholesaler who's actually jumping ship from the proven marketing strategy and going and trying something new. If we can learn anything from the story I told you about this chaotic Saturday that I spent almost an hour in the car trying to go 20 miles because I was trying to do it my way, I would say most wholesalers are doing the exact same thing in their business. They might be watching my YouTube channel, they might be listening to my podcast, The Science of Flipping, they might be out there watching other people's YouTubes and podcasts, and then instead of just listening to the expert, they jump ship and move on to the next marketing strategy. Here is the real hurdle. It's only because they don't have the proper expectations that they do so. This ultimately is the big downfall in wholesalers, and they end up usually failing or quitting because they don't have the proper expectations for what they should be expecting based around the marketing output that they're doing. So for example, if you're a cold caller and you're making, call it 400 calls a day, the proper expectation is that you should be contacting 10% of those. Now, what's a contact? That is someone when you call them and you say, hi, is this Justin? They say yes. That is a contact. So that's proper expectations. Out of those 10 contacts, you should receive roughly 7% of those contacts are viable leads. Okay, so out of the 40 individuals that might be a good contact, so if you made 400 calls, 10% is 40, that's a contact. 7% of that 40 would be a viable lead. Now, a viable lead is someone looking to sell their home in the next 12 months. Now, if you didn't know that, after about a week of cold calling, you would likely give up. It would be done, it doesn't work, my market's too tough, whatever excuses that you want to tell yourself, you would be done with it and you would go on to the next marketing strategy. Meanwhile, you've toasted all that time, energy, and spent all that money trying to get cold calling going, and you didn't have the proper expectations, and you didn't realize it takes roughly 1 out of every 100 to 200 leads in cold calling to get ramped up. That number comes down, you're gonna be closer to 1 out of every 50 leads you'll be able to convert to a deal, but initially, you're gonna be out at anywhere between 100 to 200 cold calling leads to get your one deal. Now, if you don't have that proper expectation, then you're gonna do exactly what I did while driving to the restaurant, which was only 20 miles away. It took me an hour, is you get frustrated and you try to do it your way because you think you know better. Here's the key. You wanna be listening to the people who have done it before you. If you're liking this stuff, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I got more for you. There's more secrets here. But also, the people that have done for you, or before you, I'm sorry, they're gonna be the ones that pave the road for you to know what you are trying to do. So if you are not watching my YouTube videos yet, or if you're not listening to my podcast or others, you need to be. But more importantly, you really should have some sort of mentor or leader that you can follow, that you can just follow a actual process and blueprint for all of this stuff. That is really what's gonna help expedite your learning curve. If you have any interest at all about coaching, mentoring, please go to thescienceofflipping.com. I'm happy to talk to you, answer any of your questions, see if we're a good fit. If so, great. If not, no big deal. But go to thescienceofflipping.com and go fill out the form, and I'm more than happy to talk to you. With that said, if you are looking to find deals and things become challenging in a marketing strategy, it's not up to you to kill the marketing strategy, it's up to you to understand the KPIs. If you are not tracking those KPIs and you don't have the metrics laid out on a daily and weekly basis, you're just gonna get frustrated. And that frustration can lead to you not continuing to do it and or completely quitting. I actually have a private client that I actually was just having this conversation with late in the week because he is using text messaging that has done well for me. He's also here in Phoenix actually, and it's not doing so well for him. And so I started actually asking him, does he know how many outbound and how many delivered texts he got versus how many replies he got, how many of those were leads. I asked very simple questions. And for the veteran real estate investor, this is gonna be something we know to do. For him, he was actually learning the process. Oh, well, maybe it's working better than I actually thought. As he started to give me some of the data back, he realized this was actually working. So the moral of the story, to sum this all up, guys, is I want you to be marketing beasts, but you also have to know the proper expectation, and then you have to track your results. If you could do that, you will actually know when you need to pivot and when actually you're doing exactly everything right, and maybe it's more in the conversion arena that you need to become better. There's one of two reasons that you're not getting deals. One is lead volume, the other is gonna be conversion. Most people wanna just fix the lead volume. That is not always the case. As I've pointed out to hundreds of my students, you actually are brought in the leads, there's plenty of leads, you're just not actually converting them. That can be the issue. If you have any questions at all, please leave them below. I'm happy to get to any of your questions. Go to thescienceofflipping.com. Go fill out a form if you want to talk to me, see if coaching could be a good fit for you. Also subscribe to this YouTube channel and make sure to see any and all resources are right below in the comments section. Hope it finds you guys well. I will see you guys on the next training.